Hi everyone. So I did this 2 months back. I did it for my May TBR. So I did a prompt jar picks what I read for the month. So I have prompts in here that I just found randomly on the internet. I'm going to pick about 8 prompts and try to find books that are on my TBR that fit those prompts, and I'll try to read them in July. I have my new releases here and then just my general TBR. I think these 2 shelves are TBR as well, and then I've got a few series floating around, so I've got plenty of options. So yeah, I'll just go straight into it and pick my first prompt. I remember last time this was very full. I'll try to go quite deep into it. I'll go for this really large blue one. So, oh gosh. Oh cool, a book cover that matches the colour of your outfit. Okay, so blue. I'm wearing kind of a baby blush blue. Okay, I have so many blue books. I just went through all of my shelves to see. Yeah, blue is a popular cover. So I went for blue that's like mostly on the front. So I've got The Love Hypothesis, I've got The House in the Cerulean Sea. If We Were Liars is pretty blue. I know it's kind of green as well. I've got Percy Jackson. It's a bit dark blue, but I'll go with it. It's definitely primarily blue. I've got Song of Achilles. I've got The Silent Patient. That's mostly blue. I've got The Housemaid. Sea of Tranquility, which was on my last TBR, but I didn't get to it. I've got 2 newly acquired books as well. They're coming in a haul soon. I've got This Time Is Real by Anne Liang. And then I've got Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. I really think actually this matches me the most because it's just got lots of different shades of blue. I thought this was cheating, but I might do this one, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, because the blue is exactly the same as my t-shirt, like the flowers on it. I've got Poster Girl by Veronica Roth, and randomly I've got Alice in Wonderland, which is, I suppose it doesn't match me that well, but they're all blue, like the primary colour on them is blue. So I actually think I might go for The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, just because I haven't read a thriller in a while and I'm just kind of itching for one. I've never read from her before and she's a very prolific author. I think she has like 1,000 books out, so I do want to try her out. So I think I'll go for this one just so I know I've got a thriller in the pile for July. And I do believe there's books 2 and 3 already out of this book. So yeah, this is about a housemaid and she works for this really rich family, but there's something off about the wife apparently. It says on the blurb that she tries on one of her dresses just out of curiosity. She ends up finding out that her room locks from the outside. So that's interesting. It sounds like it's a big standoff between the housemaid and the wife of the family. It sounds really, really good. But yeah, I am itching for a thriller, so I'm glad I picked this. Okay, I'll go for prompt number 2. I'm trying to get down to the bottom. This one's a shorter one. I'll put it there. Oh, free pick. Oh, nice. So again, I just had a quick look through my shelves just to see what do I really want to get to. I have, again, another newly acquired book. So this is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Love to read this. I heard it's like Regency with fantasy. So I think I would love it. I would love to get to Divine Rivals just because it's so popular. The same with The Cruel Prince. I've never read. Would love to get to it. I would love to read Magnolia Parks just to see if I'm in the camp who likes it. This is a very much love-hate book, I think. But actually, I think the book I want to read the most is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Honestly, just because I really, really want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and this is the series that's set before that. I don't think you need to read the Caraval series to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I would like to. Usually if there is a series before something else, I would really like to get to it first. So I think I'll go for Caraval. Hopefully I like it. It just sounds right up my alley. I think because it's like a trial-based book. Apparently there's this like master legend who, I think it's once a year they host a Caraval. I think there's a competition to find out whatever the mystery of Caraval is, and the winner of that is granted a wish. So I think each book in the series is about a different sister in the same family. Maybe that is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but I'm not quite sure. But this is definitely up there. It's definitely like something that I'm like, I really just want to get to. So that will be my free pick. Okay, prompt number 3. Okay, I picked out a huge one. It's upside down. What does it say? I can't read my own writing. Okay, cool. A book you bought based on a booktuber's recommendation. That's a lot, actually. That's a lot of my TBR. Let me think. I might go for like booktubers' favorite books a little bit. I think that might be a good way to view this. I know Jan really liked Divine Rivals. That's an option. One of my favourite booktubers is Rachel Catherine, and Magnolia Parks is her favourite book, so that's a good contender too. So I have The Spanish Love Deception. This is by Elena Armas. I know this won a Goodreads one of the years. I can't remember what year it was. Yeah, it was 2021. So this won the romance category for Goodreads, but I do remember Chloe Bunny, but she absolutely adored this. So when I saw it in a shop, I was like, oh, I'll pick it up and see if I like it. I've heard mixed things about this though. I've heard it's like fantastic for some people, and then some people don't like it at all. So these three would probably be the main books that I bought just specifically that a booktuber recommended. Okay, I think I'll go for Magnolia Parks, I think. So this is by Jessa Hastings. It's like a British version of Gossip Girl, apparently. It's about a very toxic relationship. I've heard mixed things though. Rachel loves it. I've also seen that Gavin from Gavin Reads It All, he hated it. So I love books that are very mixed, because I'm like, what will it be? Like, will I love it? Will I hate it? I am very intrigued to read this, and I loved Gossip Girl when it came out, so the fact that this is kind of based on it, and it's about socialites as well, so I think that's fun. I think there's like, I think it's the Daisy Hicks books, and I think they're based on another couple, and I think the books go between two couples, I think. I'm not quite sure, but this is book number 1 anyway, so I will try this out. What prompt am I on? 4? I think. Yeah, 4. But anyway, I'll go for this prompt. Oh, fun! Sports romance. I actually don't think I have too many, so this might be quite easy. Okay, this was super easy because I only have one. Oh, that's bad. That's the back of it. So this is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey, and I got this really nice edition from LitJoy Crate. I really like them as a book subscription because you can see what book you're getting like 3 months in advance, and you can like switch it for a different book, or you can skip, which is what I really like. A lot of book box subscriptions, you don't know what you're getting, where I do prefer to know what I'm getting, so I know not to buy another version of it. So yeah, I think this was the February book. It didn't arrive until March, I think. But yeah, this is a golf romance. I've never read any Tessa Bailey. I've heard, again, mixed things, like some of her books are very well received and some of them aren't. And I think this is the beginning of a sports romance like series, I think, from her. So this is about the golfer Wells Whitaker, and I think this has the grumpy sunshine trope, but it doesn't matter how bad he's playing, his supporter Josephine is always like bright and happy and supporting him in every way. And I think he hires her because he believes that she'll be able to help him get back on track because his career is kind of going downhill. He agrees if he wins, he'll split the prize money with her, and she needs some money. So she agrees to do it. It's got a lot of tropes to it. I think it's like a celebrity with a fangirl trope, co-worker. So yeah, it's got a few romance tropes in it, so I think it would be fun. But yeah, definitely excited to throw this into the mix. Okay, so that was 4. This will be 5. I'm getting really good prompts. I'm really happy with the books that I got so far. I'll go for this one. So if you can read that. Oh, a bookstore staff recommended book. I can think of 1 or 2. I generally don't ask for recommendations, but you know, you're in Waterstones and you're talking, and generally they do recommend books. Okay, I need to think about that one. Okay, I only have 2 that I can think of. I have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, as I mentioned before. I bought this not realizing it was in the same universe as The Maidens. So when I was buying The Maidens, the bookseller was like, oh, you have to read The Silent Patient, some of the characters overlap and stuff, so I decided to pick this up as well when I was buying that book. So I would say that's a recommendation. And then I also have The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I bought this for my mother actually, and then my aunt ended up getting her the same book, so I decided to keep this copy. I did specifically go into a bookshop and asked the bookseller like what's a good popular thriller, because my mum loves thrillers, so, and she recommended this one. And this is super old. This has been on a few TBRs. I think I've had this way before I had a booktube channel. I've just never read it. So Lucy Foley herself as well is very prominent now. She's got a few books. I know she just came out with another one, but I've never read from her before, so it would be either of these 2, and they're both thrillers, interesting enough. So I think I will go for The Hunting Party because it's been on my TBR for the longest. So I've put this on a few TBRs before, but yeah, just haven't got to it, but I am itching to get to it. And I think it is about a group of friends who go to a cabin in the woods for a hunting party, and I think it's to celebrate New Year's, and I think they end up getting like snowed in and stuff, and there's a murder within the group. The murderer is there with them too. So it sounds fun. Heard mixed things about it though. Heard good things, heard some bad things. So I'd love to see what I think. But again, I'm itching for thrillers. I am excited for this one. Okay, I think we're on prompt number 6. As you can tell, I overfilled this way too much. I got a bit carried away with making these. So this is prompt number 6. Cat on the cover. I might just go for animal on the cover if I don't have a cat on the cover, but I'll have a look. I actually have a cat on the cover, but it's quite obscure. So there's this little dead cat. I think a cat with X'd out eyes on the cover of The Beach by Alex Garland. There's also a duck, there's a fish, and yeah, so I think I'll count that. I've had a few, I was like, oh, this, you know, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman has a rat on it. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of books that have animals on the cover, but I'll go for this one. It is a cat. So yeah, as I mentioned before, this is The Beach by Alex Garland. There is a quite famous Leonardo DiCaprio movie that is based on this book, and I think this came out in the 90s. I think this is like a trippy, like cult-like book apparently. So it's about this backpacker called Richard, and he's like backpacking across Asia, and I think he lands on an island kind of just off Thailand, and apparently people on this island live in this utopia, but obviously I'd say it's very dark and sinister as well. So I don't really know anything about the story, and I've never seen the movie, so I'm quite unaware about it. But yeah, this sounds really, really good. Very strange prompt filler for that one. But yeah, there's a cat on the cover. Okay, we're on prompt number 7. Oh, another big one. So I'd say I wrote an essay. So this is it. A book I have been putting off the longest. Okay, so I might just go for my oldest book that's on my TBR. I might just check my Goodreads quickly to see what that is. Okay, this is actually an interesting one. I've just looked at my Goodreads and The Hunting Party is the oldest on my TBR list. But then after that is a haul I did actually, and I filmed it on my channel, and it was one of my first videos, so I'll link it here. It's my oldest haul video. So basically all the books from that I haven't got to yet are the oldest on my Goodreads list. I added them all on the same day as well, and they're all the Goodreads winners from 2020, and I still haven't gotten to these, like, what, 3 years later now? So that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I've got Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. I have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I have Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I have another Lucy Foley, which is The Guest List. And then I have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So yeah, I'll go for one of these. So it's a little bit embarrassing that I haven't read any of these books yet. I think I'll go for Mexican Gothic actually. I know it's not specifically the time of year to read like a horror, but I think I would like to throw a horror book in there to be a little bit different. So this is about, I think it's Naomi is the main character. She's this like Mexican socialite, and she gets this letter from her cousin who's just recently been married, I think. She believes she's being poisoned by her husband and she's like hallucinating and stuff. So I think Naomi goes to see for herself, maybe save her cousin. So yeah, I heard that this is really dark and atmospheric. I've heard really good things about this author, and I've heard really good things about this book, and it is kind of like a shorter, I'd say you could read it in 1 or 2 sittings type book, so I think I would definitely like to throw that into the mix. So I'll pick my last prompt now, and then I need to tidy up because I'm surrounded by books. So I'll go for this semi-big pink one. So, oh, it's quite a long one. Includes a mystery. Okay, a thriller again. I am in the mood for thrillers, so this is good. I will just see what I'm in the mood for. I'm really happy about this. I've got a good few books. They're not necessarily thrillers, but they contain a mystery. So I've got The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. This is book number 2 in the Truly Devious series, and I would like to keep going with that. I've got another Lucy Foley. I've got The Paris Apartment. I've got The Inheritance Games. This is a bit like Knives Out, apparently. I have Stephen King's Mr. Mercedes. So this is like a horror thriller. I've got Alex McLeod's again, so of course I've got The Fury, and I've got Silent Patient, as I mentioned before. More Lucy Foley, The Guest List, and then I also have Made by Nita Prose. This was on my TBR last time, but I never got to it. I have Tunnel of Bones. Oh yeah, Unravel a Mystery. Yep, this is a mystery. I forgot about this. So Tunnel of Bones by V. Schwab. So I think I'll go for Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. I've never read Stephen King before, and this is quite a long running series. Like, I think there's a trilogy and now there's a new trilogy. I think this trilogy is Bill Hodges, and then his, I think, assistant is Holly, and the new series is about Holly. So I wouldn't mind getting stuck into the series and experiencing Stephen King, because I never have before. So I think it's about Bill Hodges, who I think he's retired, I believe, and he's tormented by the case he's never solved, which is called the Mercedes Massacre. And that's all I know. So I think that'll be fun. Really wouldn't mind getting into that series. So I think this would be a good pick. Okay, that's my 8 prompts. I'll quickly go through books again. Okay, I've got a good few thrillers, so I'm quite happy about that. And then some fun fantasy and romance books as well. So if I want to lighten the mood, they're there. So I've got The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I've got Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I've got Magnolia Parks by Jessie Hastings. I've got Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I've got The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, The Beach by Alex Garland, Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Marina Garcia, and then of course Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. So yeah, I am so happy with that mix. I love picking out TBRs using the prompts. It's just a lot more fun and really guides you to books that you're kind of been leaning towards. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try to do this monthly as much as I can. But yeah, if you'd like to subscribe, I do anything book related on this channel, so TBR videos like this one, reading vlogs, hauls, all that jazz. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.